Good evening, or good afternoon, or good morning, depending on when you're watching this. And welcome to another episode of Math and You. Today with me, I have Will Johnson, who I've been tutoring in pre-algebra stuff for the past little bit. And I thought that it would be a good idea to not only run an actual tutoring session over the video, but to also explain some of the practical applications as to where some of this math might be useful in daily life, specifically for small business owners. So, anyway, we'll go with it and see where it leads, and hopefully this will work out for everybody. So meantime, Will, did you want to screen share what some of the problems were for your review assignment? We can go over them, and I can see if I can give you a hand.
Hey, give me just a second, bud. Let's see my network a little bit slow.
Okay. All right. For those of you who are watching this, I should mention that the screen share on Will's end may be a little slow to load. So if you hear questions out of sync, if the audio is a little bit out of sync with the visual, please bear in mind that some American internet service providers are a little bit technical difficulties included. And I am going to go to Paint program. Yes, I know I was told that this looks unprofessional, but it gets the job done for quickly writing out equations and doing stuff akin to a blackboard. So with that in mind, screen share to Paint. And we are good to go.
All right, am I visible yet on my screen share?
Okay, so the good news is that this one's actually relatively simple. Because of the fact that the good news is, though, is that I can actually copy this one down and give a relatively quick answer, and I'll try to explain why it works. Just let me put you on highlight for a moment, so this way people can actually see. What we're looking at here is 2z to the 10 times negative 6z to the 8 times z to the 3. This is going to be relatively quick. I'll just copy it out here. Basically, what we're looking at here is that when you're doing this, you're adding exponents because of the when you're multiplying exponents, you're generally adding them in the same variable base. Could we go back to the problem again so I can copy that down? Well, I lost the problem. Right, so that's 2z to the, there we go, yeah, 2z to the 10. So the 10 minus 6z to the 8th and the last one was z cubed, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what we're looking at here is that from this, unless I screwed this up, and I do admit the possibility that I may have made an error, that should become minus 12z to the 10 plus 8 equals 18, 19, 20, 21. So that should be minus 12z to the 21. Unless I screwed that up. Do you want to go? Do you want to punch that in and try to check? There we go. Relatively quick and effective.
And so that I'm following, it's 2 times negative 6. The exponents are added together, right?
Yeah, 2 times that. Yeah, exactly. 2 times negative 6, and then the exponents add. Now, again, once we get a little ways in, the powers will become a little bit more evident as to why we use them. Yeah, as we keep going. I can't tell if you're frozen, Will.
I haven't changed it over yet.
Okay, and for some reason my screen share didn't work properly, so let's do that again, just to show people. Okay, yeah, so there we go.
I'll just copy down the process there.
Okay, so this one, use the quotient rule and express the following. So this is going to be, so basically what you're looking for here is that firstly, the first thing that you're going to do is that you're going to deal with the the exponents. Could you move the mouse just a tad to the right so I can see the thank you, just so I can see the final exponent. So let's flip back to my screen share while I copy this over, and we will see where things are at. Sorry, I should actually put you back on screen share first, so this way I can move the program and actually see what it is I'm doing. So that's going to be 6x to the 5, y to the 7th over 24, x to the 5, y to the 2. So what's going to happen here is that the quotient rule basically is that when you're dividing exponents, they subtract. The powers subtract. So 6 over 24, since 6 goes into 24 4 times, is going to equal 1 over 4. X to the 5's cancel. They become they just become x to the 5 divided by x to the 5 is x to the 0 or 1. So that just cancels out. And on top is basically it's going to be y to the 5, since y to the 7th subtracts is y to the 2, which will equal y to the 5 over 4. Yeah, so either so 1 to the 4th y over 5 or y to the 5 over 4. And as long as your computer will.
Why would you retain the 1 over the 1/4
Oh,
y fifth?
Because of the fact that well, the thing is that it would either be y to the 5 over 4 or 1 to the 4th y over 5, because the 6 divides into the 24. So that basically cancels to 1 over 4. It's basically
so you retain. Yeah, so you rather than just making it a base 4.
Yeah, exactly. So it's basically lowest common denominator. It's like fractions from grade school. And I'll just show my working on this one, just to make sure that everyone saw that. And back to your side. Okay, so the next one is 4uv. You're looking for the power rule or the power rule of a product or quotient to simplify. This one is going to be, because of the fact that the powers are inside the brackets. When you have brackets and a power outside, this is where you are multiplying or dividing the bracket. This is where you're multiplying or dividing the powers, not adding or subtracting them. So in this case, I will pull up a fresh program so people can see it. No, don't save changes to untitled. And here we are looking at, just let me write this out, minus 4 u e power 3 over w to the 4. So what we're looking at is we're going to be literally cubing everything inside the bracket. So what that is going to look like is, in this case, it's going to literally equal minus 4 cubed is 4 times 16 is 64, so that's going to be negative 64. Negative 64 u cubed v cubed over w, because 4 to the power of 3, or 4 times 3 is 12, so that'll be w to the 12th. So yeah, what you're looking at is 64 is negative 64 u cubed v cubed all over w to the 12th.
Apologies, viewers. This software is a little bit funky at times.
Yeah, understandable. Now, warning people, this is what happens when you use MATLAB. Not to be confused with MATLAB, which is actually a legitimate program. All over w to the 12th. And if I screwed up, it was only on the w to the 12th. Oh, it worked. And I'm just going to show the working again for people to see on this end. So, yep.
And now processing it, everything cubed is negative 4 cubed.
Still processing. The next question.
4. Yeah, what I'm doing is as you're giving out the as you're explaining how to do it, I'm copying down the process.
That 2x to the 0 is not 0.
Yeah.
Anything to the power of 0 is automatically 1 because you were dividing it by itself.
Okay, I was getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, just a little. So yeah, that'll be 2x to the 0 is 1. You might want to check answer now. Okay, now on to question 5. Now, the reason why I'm giving you guys this practical application stuff, I'll explain in a minute. Okay, so that's going to be, this one is just like the other exponent question I did. So for this one, it's going to be 4ab to the 6th, 4a to the 6th, a to the 6th, and then b to the minus 3. No, hang on. Sorry, I made a mistake. Don't click that yet. I made a mistake. I forgot about the multiplying factor. That's going to be, 4a to the 8th, b to the minus 10. I added and subtracted when I should have multiplied and divided. That was my error. So give that a try.
Then you multiply.
Yes, because what happens here is that anything that's inside a bracket, when you have anything inside a bracket to a power, you are literally increasing things to that power. So the exponents multiply or divide rather than have to subtract. Wait, what? I could have sworn I did that correctly.
You did. It wants it in a specific format.
Oh.
This is why you don't use this program.
Okay.
It's very picky about how it wants it done.
Okay. Four a to the 8th over b to the 10th.
Yeah, and see, I don't understand why it would be only why it would be, a divided problem.
Yeah, well, it's a good question because it gave you the minus sign, so you'd think, oh well, okay, so that's a glitch in the program, not a glitch in my calculations. Good to know. But we also know from reference that kind of notation works.
Yeah, we're gonna get a second problem. This one.
No, that's not going to be 6a. That's not going to be 6a. That's going to be 4a. 2 cubed is 8, so that's going to be 8a. 8a to the 15th. 8a to the 15th over b to the over b to 2 to the 3, so it's going to be over b to the 6th. There we go. Okay, this one's going to be a to the this one's going to be a to the hang on. A to the 7 minus 7 minus 4, so that's going to be a to the 28th. A to the 28th, b to the minus 4 over, that's going to be all over, by the way. Sorry, I should have clarified. So yeah, all over. A to the 28th. Over. So a to the 28th. B. I'm not quite sure what the formatting is for this, but the basic the exact answer is a to the 28th. B to the minus 4. Over a to the minus over a to the over a to the minus 4th. And b to the minus 8th. So yeah, no, I said b to the minus 8th, not b minus 8.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you don't use this software.
And I probably got it in the wrong bloody format for the question too.
Yeah, it's completely saying it's going to be. Oh, it wanted you to. It wanted it to be finished.
Right. Okay. So yeah, that's a to the 32, b to the 4. Okay. So next time I'll remember to complete the bloody thing. Click a similar exercise, and I'll actually remember the formatting they want. So that's going to be a to the minus 12th. Sorry, a to the 12th. Hang on, let me actually run it out. So that's going to be a to the 12th, b to the minus 4th, over. All over, I meant.
Which will have to be. Yes.
So a to the not a. I misread that. I misread that as a 3. Sorry. So that's going to be a to the 4th, b to the minus 4th, over a to the minus 4th, b to the negative 24th. That's equals 24. Don't click the equals. Don't click the final check answer yet, because I've still yet to actually run the calculation for the format they want. That's going to be translated answer that they're going to be looking for is a to the 8th. It's just going to be a to the 8th, b to the 20th. Assuming I did the math correctly. There we go. And that's the format you're looking for. And once we get to the factoring questions, that's the, okay. Term polynomial. Terms and degree of the polynomial. That's going to be degree 2. I'm pretty sure that's degree 0. That one's degree 4. And that one is also degree 4. And the reason why this works, before you click check answer, let me run this through. Wait, what? The term with more than one variable is the sum of the exponents of the variables. Yes, and that's exactly. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. It was degree 3, not degree 2. Top one is degree 3. I made a mistake. Minor arithmetic error. There we go. And the reason, before you click X, I'd like to show people why. The reason why this works is that because the sums of the polynomials, basically the sum of the exponents of the variables is what gives it the degree. Just as a heads up. Okay, now we can go. Okay, so now on to the next. The degree of the polynomial is because the highest one is 4. That should be, if I'm not mistaken, degree 4. Unless it was the sum of the. Yep, there we go. Highest one is. Luckily, there were a few things from my calculus classes.
How is it the highest degree present? Or
yeah, it's the highest degree present. So basically, because degree 4 is the highest exponent present, that means the polynomial itself, the entire thing is of degree 4. Nice to know that I remember a few things from my advanced calculus course. Okay, so add, do not factor. Okay, so this is literally going to be this is going to literally be 3x squared. (8xy minus 7xy) is going to be, so that's just going to be xy. So plus xy. And finally, the last one is going to be plus 21y squared because of the fact that the minus y subtracts from the 22y. And miss my guess. There we go. I'm just waiting for the factoring stuff to kick in because that's when I finally found both the shortcut and the answer for you. Okay, so 6x minus 9 from 9x squared minus 3x minus 8 is going to be 9x squared minus 3x minus 1. There you go.
okay, and
basically when you subtract 3x minus 8,
you go on 9x. You're saying the 6x is subtracted from the 3x. The
Minus
8
8.
is subtracted.
Yeah. It's the 6x minus 9 is literally subtracted from the 3x minus 8. And that's where you get your minus sign from. Now, okay, so the perimeter of the figure. I'm assuming you remembered how to do this one on your own? Or do I need to run you through?
Well, run through this for purposes of
okay. Okay, well, the thing is that I'm going to use the technique that I know, and this is where the shortcut is going to come in for the factoring later, for some of the factoring work later. So I'm going to reintroduce people to something called the quadratic equation, or specifically the quadratic formula for finding roots. So let me get up a let me get into the Hangout and switch to mine, and then erase the entire thing here so we can. Actually, I'll just generate just generate a new one. So the formula was, so let's see, we're going to have 3x squared minus x squared, so that's going to be 2x squared. 4x plus 2x is 6x, so that's going to be 2x squared plus 6x plus 1. So let me get the brushes here. So don't put that in there. That's just what I need to know. Plus 6x minus 1. Sorry, no, hang on. Yeah, sorry, plus 1. Now what I'm going to do from here is I'm now going to try something called the quadratic formula. There are going to be two solutions for this, one of which is negative, which is obviously the one we don't want. So we're going to go for the one that's the positive. So this is going to be negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. That's going to translate to, because it's 6, so we're going to have that's going to equal minus 6 plus or minus square root of 36 minus, let's see, 4ac is going to be 4 times 2 is 8 times 1 is 8, so that's 36 minus 8 all over 4 equals negative 6 plus minus square root. 36 minus 8 is, hang on, that's 6, 27, 28. Actually, maybe this might not work. Yeah, this is the default that I was going to use for the other thing, but this may not work for this application here, but I'm thinking it's close I got. So the other possibility is to try to figure this out, which is again is not going to be quite so doable. But anyway, we'll try it with this way first, and if that doesn't work, then we'll go to the other one. Actually, you've got 3 checks on each of these, right? Try typing.
Correct.
Yeah, well, without unless they're specifically looking for x, try typing in 2x squared plus 6x plus 1. See what that does to start off with. If that's not what they're looking for, then we know we're looking for x. Again, this is not an issue.
I believe that's yes. I believe that's
okay. Good. So then that's what they're looking for there. This thing I was about to mention earlier will come in later. Okay, multiply these. So that's going to be negative 1 over 9. And that's going to be because you don't have an exponent outside of a bracket here. This is going to be adding the powers again. So that's going to be y to the power of 13. Since 8 plus 5 is 13.
Get this copied down for my notes.
Okay, I'm going to put in first one, and we'll get to that in a moment.
And those are added. Okay.
There you go. Now on to question 12. Okay, now multiplying this one should be relatively quick. All you need to do is multiply 8x into the formula. So this one will be literally 8x cubed, because again, you're adding the exponents. plus 64x squared. Since again, they minus 72x. There you go. I'm just waiting to get to the ones that I'm specifically having solutions for, the shortcuts. Okay, this is where we start in on the factoring stuff, but this is first outside, inside, last. So for this to work, I'm going to walk you through this one. I'm going to walk you through this.
So initially, it's going to be 2x squared.
Yeah, it's going to, the first one's going to be 2x squared. Now, for this one,
plus 9, but I don't know how to get that middle term.
well, hang on. That's where this is where I'm about to walk you through the middle term. Okay. It's not. It's just take out the 49 for now, so this way I can walk you through the process. Okay, so it's literally going to be. Whoops, sorry. Hang on. Let me copy it down here. No.
Yeah, unfortunately, let me know you got it copied because I'm going to have to drop my window bid.
Hang on, I'm almost got it. 2x minus 7. Okay, so here we go. So 5x minus 7, 2x minus 7. Now to get the first outside, inside, last, this is where they talk about FOIL. Now the middle term goes as follows. 5x times, so 5x times 2x is the 10x squared. So 5x times minus 7 equals minus 35x. And then it's going to be 7x times 2x, which is going to be 14x. And then those two sum together, minus 35 plus minus 14 should be 35, so 45, 49. So that's going to be negative 49x. Yeah, and that'll be the middle term. It'll be negative 49x.
X.
And that'll be that'll be plus 49 at the end. So that'll be minus 49x. You dropped your screen there, so
It should be playing here momentarily.
okay.
And so, what was the actual answer to it?
It was 10x squared minus 49x plus 49.
Okay. Let's see. So now that I know how to get that middle term. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So you multiply the two outer ones and then the two outer ones. That's why it's first outside, inside, last. And then you sum the two inside terms. So can you flip your screen back on so I can see the next one?
Yeah, it should be up there.
Yeah, it's not loading.
Yeah, it's just being slow. Open bracket 5x.
Hang on, let me write this down with a fresh program. New. No. Sorry, open bracket 5x.
Minus 3 close bracket.
Okay, open bracket 5x minus 3 close bracket.
Second power.
To the power? Second power, okay. Well, this one, this one's like the first outside, inside, last. It's a perfect square instead. So what you do is you expand it. Let's write it out in full so this way people can see what we're doing here. And this becomes literally 25x squared minus 15x minus 15x. I'm still working the process here. Plus 9, since two negative numbers multiplying together gets a positive, which equals 5x squared minus 30x plus 9. And there you go. That's the this right here is your final answer.
So like I said, I can't see it because I don't have double screens like this. So
Okay.
what is it in that there, Steve?
25x squared minus 30x plus 9.
All right.
Okay, now I'm
All
going to,
right. So and the negative 30 is coming from
because of the fact that you're
is 5
multiplying,
times.
yeah, 5x times minus 3 plus 5x times minus 3.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So new one here. And what are we? What's our next question?
Open bracket x minus.
Hello.
Open bracket x minus 2 close bracket.
Okay, x minus 2 close bracket.
Open bracket x squared minus 6x plus 3 close bracket.
6x plus what?
3 close bracket.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, the glitches with the Hangout. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. This is literally going to be the first outside, inside, last, but it's a little bit more painstaking than the last one. So the first one is going to be you multiply x by every one of the terms inside. Then you multiply the negative 2 by every one of the terms inside and add everything together. So for this one, it's literally going to be x cubed minus 6x squared plus 3x minus 2x squared minus 12x minus 6. And the total of that, adding everything together, becomes x cubed minus 6 becomes minus 2 becomes minus 8x squared. 3 minus 12 becomes 10, 11, 10, 9. So that's minus 9x minus 6 equals. Okay, so your final answer is x cubed minus 8x squared minus 9x minus 6.
Yeah,
So,
this is,
so x cubed minus 8x squared minus 9x minus 6.
yeah, this says you're incorrect.
I'm incorrect?
Yes.
For my work. Let me double check again. Hang on. It's possible I screwed something up here.
We can actually do before you check it. Let me find out what it says the final answer is.
Okay, because
Your negative 9, it says should be a positive 15.
positive 15. I may
Yeah.
have. You said it was x minus 2, correct?
Correct.
Oh, oops! I made a boo boo. I made a boo boo. Hang on. Let me go back and double check that again. So 8x cubed. I flipped a sign somewhere where I wasn't supposed to. So the 9x is supposed to be 15, right?
Correct.
Okay. So hang on. Oh, that's why I flipped the minus sign where I wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to be plus 12x, not minus 12x. So yeah, that's why it's 15. All right. I flip the minus sign. Even I make mistakes now and again.
All right, so let's get another one. Another one similar to that. X minus 3.
Hang on. Let me put the plus 15 to correct that, and then I'm going to go to a new program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, new one. So one more time. What was this one?
Open bracket x minus 3 close bracket.
Okay, x minus 3 close bracket.
Open bracket x squared
X squared
minus 4x
minus 4x.
plus 6 close bracket.
Okay, so let me just double check that I heard that correctly. That's open bracket x minus 3 close bracket, open bracket x squared minus 4x plus 6 close bracket.
Correct.
Okay, so now we'll try this again. So this is going to be x cubed equals x cubed minus 4x squared, x cubed minus 4x squared plus 6x. I'm not done yet. I'm just reciting the terms to myself so I can keep track. Minus 3x squared plus 12x minus 18. So one more go, and this time I did, assuming I did this correctly, equals x cubed minus 4 minus 3, so that's negative 7x squared. 12 plus 6 is 18, plus 18x minus 18. So, assuming I did this correctly, I didn't flip a sign again like I did with the last one. X cubed, the answer should be x cubed minus 7x squared plus 18x minus 18.
All right.
Okay, good. So I did do that. I just flipped a minus sign the last time. That was my mistake.
All right.
But again, this also goes
15x4 to the fourth.
Hang on. Before we go into this, I wanted to before we go into the next question, I wanted to mention something. That last glitch where I flipped the minus sign, this is why it pays this is why it shows that that one should really pay attention to details in math, even the most basics like plus and minus signs, because you can make an error and you get in one step and it ends up screwing up later down the line. So even for practicing the basic 4, this is something really good to remember. Okay, so what were you saying the next question was?
Okay, the next question is 15x to the fourth.
Okay, 15x to the fourth.
Minus 10x to the third.
Okay.
Plus 11.
Okay.
All of that over negative 15x.
Over negative 15 what?
X to the fourth.
Okay, over 15x to over negative 15x to the fourth.
Correct.
Okay, so what we're going to be looking at then is this is a division problem. So the correct way to handle this is going to be, now this is actually polynomial division, so I need to remind myself how to make this work. But if I'm not mistaken, we're taking 15x to the fourth out of every single equation. So what this should look like is equals, assuming I did this correctly, minus 1 plus 10 over 15 is 2 to the 3, so that'll be 2 over 3x. Yeah, that'll be plus 2 over 3x minus 11 over 15 minus 11 over 15x to the fourth. So that's going to be, and I really wish you could see the screen right. I could see your screen right now, so this way I could actually tell you how to be able to put this in formatting wise. You can't see my screen, can you?
That is, I cannot.
Okay.
Without dropping mine.
Okay.
I don't have access to my second.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to mention, and I'm going to try to format this as best as I can and see whether or not this transfers. So it's going to be minus 1 plus 2 over 3x.
Okay.
That's 2 in the numerator, 3x in the denominator.
Okay. Okay.
Minus 11 over 15x to the power of 4. That's 11 in the numerator, 15x to the power of 4 in the denominator.
Corrections before I put x to the fourth. Yeah. It took it in that format.
Good. And it accepted it?
All right, so let me copy down how this one's done. Because I know the -1. Okay, the -1 comes from the 15s.
Yeah, from the 15s, and the x to the 4 is canceling.
Yep.
The 2 over 3x comes from the -10 over -15 canceling the 2 over 3, and the x in the denominator because x to the 3 divided into x to the 4th to leave x. And the -11 over 15x to the 4th is because, well, 15 minus 15x to the 4th can't divide into 11.
All right.
All right, now let's move
Next
on.
problem coming up.
I will.
All right. Find the factor for 90, 14, and 35.
Sorry. Could you repeat that again?
They want the greatest common factor between 9, 14, and
Right.
35.
Did you say 90? Did you say 90 or 19?
90.
90,
90.
and 90, 14, and 35.
Correct.
Okay. Well, your greatest common factor for this one. Well, here's the. Okay. The greatest common factor for each of these. Okay, that's your greatest common. That's your lowest common multiple. I'm looking for your greatest common factor. 1 plus 4 is 5, so 3 won't work there. This is going to be okay. So I'm just going to pull up my Google. I'm just going. Sorry, I went to store by accident. Sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. And I'm going to do something here. I'm just going to quickly do something here. But you see, my first response would be to say that there isn't a greatest common factor. But even so, I'm just going to check just to confirm.
Well, otherwise it would let me have, it would let me have that no answer. I don't have that option.
Yeah, well, you see, the thing is that there's a. Oh wait, I know what it is. Yep, that's what I suspected. It took me a sec before I remembered about the. It took me a sec before I remembered this. The greatest common factor. Remember that every number. One of the factors for it is 1 and itself. 1 times blank is blank, right? So the greatest common factor for 90, 14, and 35 is all 1.
Okay. So that's just something just to know that, or
yeah. Well, basically, if you see 3 numbers and it doesn't look like they have any other factors in common, it is if you can't find any other factor in common, 1 is the most is possibly the best answer.
Okay.
All right. Did it accept it?
It took it.
Okay.
All
Brilliant.
right.
The next one.
4.
Hang on. Can you repeat that?
There's 3 terms here.
Okay.
You want the greatest common factor between these 3 terms. And I think I know how to do this, but confirm for me.
Okay.
Term x cubed
Sorry.
y to the 7th.
Sorry, did you say x cubed y to the 7th?
Correct.
Is that 2 separate terms or is that 1 term?
That's 1 term.
Okay. Next one.
Second term is x to the 2nd, y to the 7th.
X to the y to the power of 7. And what's
Final term is x to the 7th, y to the
y to the power of 9?
correct.
Okay. This one, because of the fact that there is a x to the power of 2, y to the 7th in every single one of these, your actual the middle term that was just given is actually your greatest common factor.
Okay, so if that's the case, then my way of discovering, I was in the correct and how I was going to do it. Because my understanding of this was that it would be the the greatest denominator between the greatest denominator for each variable.
Well, just to clarify, you said it was x to the power of 3 times y to the power of 7, x to the power of 2 times y to the power of 7, and x to the power of 7 times y to the power of 9, right?
I'm assuming that they want it multiplied because there's no symbol between them. It's literally x cubed. So I'm assuming they mean multiplied.
Okay, then in that case, what you're looking for is basically, in this particular case, the middle term can divide into both of the other two terms. So hence it is the greatest common factor, and it can divide into itself one time. All right. Now let me run into the, let me get rid of that. And I will pop into a fresh program. So what are we looking at for the next question?
Right, same thing. Greatest common factor from the following list. 50x
50x what?
cubed
50x to the power of 3. What was the next one?
Is negative 10x fourth to the fourth.
You said negative 10x to the fourth?
Correct.
Okay, it's a negative 10.
Final term is to the fifth.
Is what is x to the fifth?
2x to the fifth.
2x to the power of 5. Okay. Well, the thing, of course, is, though, well, one thing I will say is the fact that you can take 2 out of every single one of those. The next thing you can do is you can also take x cubed out of every one of those. So your greatest common factor should equal 2x to the power of 3.
Right.
Yeah. And it's basically greatest, yeah, that's basically greatest common denominator or greatest common factors. You're basically taking that out. You're dividing that out. All right, on to the next question.
Reading this verbatim.
Okay, just wanted to double check.
Yep. Factor out the GCF from 24x minus 12.
Okay, hang on. Let me find, okay, so we're looking for the GCF. GCF. You said, what was it, 24x minus 12?
Correct.
24x minus 12. What was the next one?
That's it. 24x minus 12. It wants to factor.
Oh, well then in that case, just take out the number 12. You take out 12 and you wind up with x minus 2. Oh, sorry, 2x minus 1. But yeah, 12 is your greatest common factor to take out. I'm hoping my viewers recognize how most of this is working.
2x minus 1 is incorrect.
No. I didn't say 2x minus 1. I said your greatest common factor is 12. You're left with 2x minus 1.
I misunderstood you. Apologies.
Yes.
All right, so it messed that all up. So let's do it. Next one is 20x plus 10. And if that's the case, it should be 10 open brackets 2 plus.
No, don't worry about the don't worry about putting the 2x plus 1 in there. Your greatest common factor is 10.
It wants it factored.
Oh, once it factored, then then there'll be 10 open brackets, 2x plus 1 close bracket.
All right, next question's coming up.
Okay.
2x cubed.
Okay, 2x to the power of 3.
Y.
Did you say what 5?
Yeah, 2x cubed y is the first one. Is the first part of this.
2x cubed y.
Minus 14 y,
Minus 14 what y?
x to the second y,
Okay, x to the second y.
minus 10 xy.
That's actually the 5. Okay, well, the first thing is, though, is that your y, because of the fact that the third term only has x to the 5, the only thing you're going to be able to take out of here is x to the only thing you're going to be.
No. Final one is 10 xy as an X-ray Yankee.
Oh, 10 X-ray Yankee. Oh, I'm sorry, I misheard that. Okay. Now that I've heard that correctly, let's try that again. So with this being a particular case, x and y are common throughout the entire thing, and 2 is also a common factor in here. So your common factor, your greatest common factor, is going to be 2xy. Oh wait, no, hang on. Because there's 2 minus factors, I'm not sure whether that's going to be 2xy or minus 2xy. Well, there's a positive in front, so it should be 2xy, if I'm not mistaken. If not, I flipped the minus sign. 2xy. Yeah, that should work. 2xy should be your GC, your greatest common factor.
Okay, no, he wants it factored.
Pardon?
He wants it factored.
Oh, it wants it.
It's wording it in it's stupidly, but it wants it factored. It says factor out the greatest common factor, but it wants it factored. It's worded dumb as crap.
So just to clarify, were there commas between each of those 3 terms or no?
There was not.
Oh, then okay. Then in that case, I made a boo-boo in my typing, and I'm going to go take care of that now. So your actual factor is going to be, so that's going to be 2xy, and I'm going to complete the bracket here, so this way we've got that worked out. 2xy, that's going to be x to the power of 2 minus 7x minus 5, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So yeah, what that should read, if it wants it factored, is going to be, now that I know that there were no commas there, miss my guess, the correct answer is 2xy, open bracket, x to the power of 2 minus 7x minus 5, close bracket.
All right, that is correct.
Good. So I did get that right. All right.
I don't know why it's not letting me. It's not screen sharing. I can see, because I can see your window fine.
Okay, good to know. So I'm on to the next one now. What are we looking for in terms of
factor by grouping? 4x plus 12.
Okay, hang on. Okay, so factor by grouping. Okay, so 4x plus 12
plus y plus 3y.
Sorry, 4x plus 12 plus 3y.
12 plus X-ray Yankee plus 3 Yankee.
Okay, so let me just confirm that. That's 4x plus 12 X-ray Yankee plus 3 Yankee.
Let me see how you
Okay,
do.
we're supposed to factor that. Okay.
Yeah, and see, I can't see what you write because it's dumbass. All right, so that we've got it correct. Let me do it to you again. 4 X-ray 1 2 plus X-ray Yankee plus 3 Yankee.
So was that a plus to 1 2 or minus 1 2?
Plus 1 2.
So well can see it.
Okay, yeah, good point. I'll change the font size on this. Let me change the font size up to what? Oh, great. Now my paint program has stopped working. Paint is restarting. Okay, let's try that one more time. Big box. Put the font size up to 72. Ah, crap. Sorry, Will, we seem to be having minor difficulties. Please stand by. Okay, now I'll go back.
Welcome to Windows.
Yeah, welcome to Windows. And it's frozen. I had been hoping to do this. I'll have to go. Okay. I'm going to have to stop using text box, and I'm going to have to go back to. Hang on. I'm going to have to Control-Alt-Delete to reset the program. Task Manager. And Task Paint. Where are we here? And Task.
I said, well, if you end up having trouble with it, I can save this. The part 2 of it.
Okay. I'm going to try one more thing, and then we'll try again. So, don't save. Okay. So, we're going to stop using type. I'm going to go back to screen share to get this working correctly. And one more try. Here we go. So that was, sorry, could you repeat that again one more time? Because I lost it in the process of.
4 X-ray
Okay, one more go. Okay, here we go. Let me bump it to versus. So 4 X-ray
plus 1, 2
plus 1, 2
plus X-ray Yankee
plus X-ray Yankee
Yankee
plus Yankee.
plus 3 Yankee. 1, 2, 3 Yankee.
Okay, plus 3 Yankee. Okay. Okay, good. Now that I've got that, I can now attempt the this particular this factor. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to they said factor by grouping. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to separate these two into two separate brackets. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go open bracket 4x plus 1, 2 close bracket plus X-ray Yankee plus 3 Yankee. Now, with that in mind, the next thing that we're going to do is it's going to end up, we're going to take the factor 4 out of the first one. So that'll be 4x plus 3 plus y x plus 3. In short, what we can do is we can do it the following way. We can now take out the x plus 3, which will now end up giving us the final bracket. X plus 3, close bracket, open bracket, 4 plus, y plus 4. Let me erase and rewrite that properly. So yeah, there we go. Plus 4. So yeah, Will, your final answer will be open bracket, x plus 3, close bracket, open bracket, y plus 4, close bracket.
All right, copy that. That has been put in, says that is correct.
Yep.
All right, next set of factors. 2 X-ray to the second.
2x to the squared. Okay, 2x raised to the second.
Minus 14 X-ray Yankee.
X-ray Yankee.
Minus 9 X-ray.
Minus 9 X-ray.
Plus 6 3 Yankee.
Plus 6 3 Yankee. Okay. Whew. All right. This one's going to be a little bit trickier. No, it isn't. Actually, I know what we're doing. I know what we're looking for here. This one, once again, we're going to break them off into brackets. 2x squared minus 14 X-ray Yankee plus minus 9 X-ray plus 6 3 Yankee. And that's going to equal, when we factor out the relevant factors, that's going to be oh, yes, of course, right. No, I know what I did. I know what I did wrong. No worries. That's going to be 2 X-ray, open bracket, x minus 7y, close bracket, plus minus 9 open bracket x minus 7y, because 9 goes into 63 7 times. So that will leave us overall with, x minus 7y. Got to remember to write that in. So that's going to be open bracket x minus 7y, close bracket, open bracket 2x minus 9. So yeah, that's going to be so that's going to be open bracket x minus 7y, close bracket, open bracket 2x minus 9, close bracket.
Yeah.
All right. And there's your fact.
A squared, and this might be a prime. A squared
Hang on. A squared
minus 1/5 alpha bravo
yes.
plus 5/6 bravo to the second.
Okay, this one is not prime because 56 is even. So this one is actually relatively quick to do. Luckily, we don't have to list out all the factors on this one. Do you remember that 8 times 7 is 56, right?
Yeah.
Well, negative 8 times negative 7 is also 56, and negative 8 plus negative 7 also adds up to negative 15. So in this case, you're going to be looking at a minus 8b, close bracket, a minus 7b, close bracket. Now I'm not sure in what order they want that, but that's the factored version.
You took it in that order.
All right. We'll go on to the next.
3 Charlie to the second
Okay, 3 Charlie to the second
plus 1/6 Charlie
plus 1/6 Charlie
plus
what?
5.
Plus 5. Thank you. Okay, this one is prime because of the fact that 5 is a prime number and it's only factors. No, wait, hang on. Hang on. I made a mistake. Don't click prime. Don't click prime. This is the one where I need to. Okay, now this is the one where I'm actually about to mention the shortcut, and I want to actually run it from 2 directions to see whether or not I can actually make it work. I want to confirm whether or not this actually, from 2 directions. I'm going to run this 2 different ways, and I want to confirm that both methods actually work to the same conclusion. The first one is the quadratic equation I mentioned earlier. I'm going to do the traditional way first, and then I'm going to do the conventional way first, and then I'm going to do the quadratic way. And if they both add up, then I will tell you the shortcut for the quadratic method. But I just want to make sure that I do this right. So 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 other numbers that add to 15. 1 plus 5 is 15. So that will be, so a 3, that'll be 3c squared plus 1 plus 1 plus 3c squared plus c plus 15c plus 5. Factor out the c's accordingly, so that becomes 3c plus 1 plus 5. Okay, plus 5, 3c plus 1 plus, so that will equal 3c plus 1 and c plus 5. Okay, so now that I've got that, I'm now going to, which should give the roots minus 1 over 3 and gives the roots minus 1 over 3 and minus 5. So minus 1 over 3 and comma, so c equals minus 1 over 3 and minus 5. Now I'm going to try it the other way just to confirm whether or not both methods actually add to the same conclusion. Because if they do, I'm about to give you a shortcut. I need to actually verify whether this works. So negative 16 minus square root of 16 squared, which is, you get a calculator for this test, right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, 16 squared is 256 minus 4 times 3 is 12, times 5 is 60. So, sorry, let me actually write this out. 4 bracket 3 bracket 5 over 2 3 equals minus 16 plus or minus square root 256 minus 4 times 3 is 12, 12 times 5 is 60. 60 over 6 equals minus 16 plus or minus square root. Let's see. 256 minus 60 equals 196 over 6. No, that's sorry, 196. Now I just need to check whether that's a perfect square. Crap, I don't have the square root function on here. No, wait, I know what to do. The power 1 divided by 2. Thank God for PowerWorks. Perfect. Equals negative 16 plus minus 14 over 6 plus minus 14 over 6 equals, okay, 16 plus 14, negative 6. Okay, so 16 plus 14 is 30, correct? So minus 30 over 6. Minus 30 over 6, comma, 16 minus 14, 16 plus 14. Oh yes, minus 2 over 6 over 6 equals minus 1 over 3, comma, minus 5. Okay, so Will, here, so now that I've run this equation to run it through, I'm going to teach you the, I'll give you the factored version, and then before we move on to the next problem, I'm going to teach you the shortcut, okay? So the fully factored version of the problem is 3c plus 1, sorry, open bracket 3c plus 1 close bracket, open bracket c plus 5 close bracket. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I want you to write down the following. I want you to write down the following formula for me, okay? If you've got it for your notes.
Yeah.
Negative b.
Okay.
Plus minus, so the plus sign over the minus sign.
Yep.
All in square root, so giant square root. B squared minus 4ac.
All right.
All over 2a. Now, the thing I want you to write next to that is that every one of these trinomials that we've been dealing with, like the c squared plus c plus blank, that's actually the formula. The formula for that is ax squared plus bx plus c.
Okay.
So when you punch through this formula, you can't see my screen, can you? Well, you'll be able to go back over this. You'll be able to see this when you go back over and watch this video later, which I'm hoping you will. This becomes minus 16 plus or minus square root of 256 times 4 times 3 times 5 all over 2 times 3, which equals negative 16 plus or minus square root of 256 minus 60 over 6, which equals negative 16 plus or minus square root of 196 over 6, which equals 16 plus or minus 14 over 6, which gives you the roots of negative 30 over 6, comma, negative 2 over 6, which equals negative 1 over 3, comma, negative 5. Now, the way you get the factored form by getting these two formulas is that because you know that c is negative 1 over 3, that will compensate to 3c plus 1, and the negative 5 will equal c plus 5 by switching out the by completing the factor that goes to 0 in both of these cases. So that's your shortcut for if you're ever having difficulty with the factoring with quadratics.
Yeah, because I will.
Yeah, that should
go for this one. So let's go 30x 30 squared.
Are we on to the next problem now?
Yeah.
Okay, so hang on. Let me scroll to. Let me create a fresh file here. Don't save. Okay. So what's the next one?
30 squared.
Okay, 30 squared. Okay, for some reason my. Okay, minimize that. 30 squared. Wait, sorry, did you say 30 squared? Oh yeah, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Sorry. Let me try that again. Okay, 30x squared.
Minus 3 x-ray.
Minus 3 x-ray.
Minus 2 3 x.
Minus 2 3.
Oh, this way. X.
Hang on, did you say so 30x squared minus 3 x-ray minus 2 x-ray?
No. God, this lag is awful. Thanks, Google. 30x squared.
Yes.
Minus 3x.
Minus 2 3x.
Minus 1 4.
Minus 1 4. Thank you. Knew there was something I missed there. Let me do that one more time. 1 4. Okay. So I'm going to clean that up a little bit because that didn't write properly. So just to confirm that, our terms are 30x x-ray squared minus 2 3 x-ray minus 1 4.
Correct.
Okay. Now here again, I'm going to run the shortcut for you to be able to make this work. This is where the shortcut comes. So negative 2 3. Let me make sure that I've actually written this correctly. Negative 2 3 plus or minus square root 2. I just need to get 2 3 squared here. Hang on. So that's going to be 2 3 squared. Okay, so 529 minus 4 bracket 30 bracket 1 4. I got a bad feeling about this, but we'll give it a try. Over 2a over 2 3 0. If need be, I'm going to have to try to find the other technique, but hopefully this will work for this one too. Because it worked the last time, so it should work the same this time. Equals negative 2 3 plus or minus square root of 2 9 minus. Okay, hang on. So just damn, I lost my screen share for the moment. Bear with me. Needs to go back into. Wait, I've just lost the ability to screen share my paint program. No matter, I'll go to full screen. This will work easier. Okay, so let's try this again. 529 minus. Where was I? 529 minus 4 times 30 times 14 times 14. Yeah, this is not going to work. For some reason, I either screwed this up or... Oh, I know what I did wrong. This formula does not apply immediately because of the fact that I forgot about one key factor. No, I have to use the grouping technique. This is going to be a pain. Sorry, bear with me here. You said, yeah, so 30 minus x squared minus 14. I need to double check something here. So this is going to take a sec. I'm going to go to, there we go. No, where's my factor calculator? Factor calculator steps. I'm going to go straight to this one and get it because I think I messed up something here. R2 minus 2, 3x minus 1, 4. And I get because the thing is that I'm getting imaginary numbers out of this. Okay, so yeah, we're going to have to go with this particular technique. All right, so here's where it's going to get. Here's where we're going to have to go with the original problem again, not the shortcut issue that I was working with earlier. Because that shortcut technique, the quadratic, doesn't work with all of them, but it should work. Even though it should. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear out, and we're actually going to just put a line through a large chunk of this here. Let's put a line through that, and we'll do. So the steps for this one, I'm just going to go to Symbol Lab in order to get what we need. So we're going to do 30 times 14. So let me grab the calculator again. So we're going to do 30 times negative 14. 14 negative equals negative 420. Now that should be, now that will get, that'll also give us 35 times, negative 35 times 12. So yeah, negative 35 times 12. So we'll be grouping this. Basically, do you want the answer immediately, and then I'll walk you through it later?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to be doing here is that basically your final answer is going to be open bracket 6x minus 7.
Okay.
Close bracket, open bracket 5x plus 2, close bracket.
All right.
All right, and we'll go on, and I'll just watch the screen at this point to get the final details when the time comes. Holy crud! I have 15 Facebook notifications. I better get it. I better look into that sometime soon. But anyway, back onto Paint. What's the next question that we're looking at? Pardon?
I was jumping ahead a little bit so we could get an idea of what was coming on. The last question, it was the
5 what?
What was the last terms I gave you? It was the 30x squared, right?
Yep.
Okay. That was 26. This is 27 coming up. 2, 5.
Okay, 2, 5.
Squared.
X squared.
Minus 4.
Minus 4.
0.
Is that it? So
Minus 4, 0.
Yep.
X-ray, Yankee.
Okay.
Plus 7.
Yep.
Yankee squared.
Okay. Yeah. Does it have an option to say this one is prime?
Yeah, it does.
Click that one because I one's a prime.
It is not prime.
Okay, which means I made a mistake somewhere. All right, let's try this again. So since we've got an x by y squared, this is going to be. I'm going to test this to confirm. I'm going to test it using the quadratic to see if it works here, and if it doesn't, I'm going to go back to the traditional one. I'm hoping I can use I'm hoping I can use the quadratic shortcut for this one. So this should be. How the heck they're getting 7y squared out of this is beyond me. But still, we'll give this a shot. So that's going to be negative. That's going to be 40 plus minus square root for 1600. Sorry, I made a mistake. 40 squared is 1600. 1600 minus 4 times 25 times 7 all over 50 equals 40 plus or minus square root 1600 minus, see, 4 times 25 is 100, so that should be 700. Yeah, so that's going to be 1600 minus 700. Okay, so 1600 minus 700 is, give me a sec, all over 50, and equals 40 plus minus square root 1600 minus, that's 1600 minus 700, just erase that and get to the final point. I wish I was able to control the size of a eraser in Paint. That size thing is just really small. No, not right now, but I'll 1600 minus 700 is 9 plus 7, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So yeah, 900 over 50. Now I just need to confirm that 900 is a perfect square. 100 to the power bracket divide by 2 close bracket. Good, so it was right. Okay, so that means 40 or plus minus 30. Over 50. So that's going to be equals 7 over 50, comma, 70 over 50. Uh-oh. Okay, 70 over 50 and 10 over 50, which equals 7 over 5 and 7 over 5 and 10. Oh, sorry, not sorry, 1 over 5. So that should equal, yes, because of the fact that it's minus for the perfect square, unless I screwed this up. Yeah, I got a bad feeling about this. I'll have to check my work. I'm gonna have to check my work just to confirm. But actually, you know what? I'm also going to punch it into the factoring calculator just to confirm that I got the right answer, because that should factor. Where are we here? Okay, 25x squared minus 40xy. 25x. 5x to the power of 2 minus xy plus 7y power 2. Go. Yep, that is exactly what I was expecting it to be. The answer is 5x minus. The answer is 5x minus 7y in one set of brackets, and open bracket 5x minus y close second bracket. All right. Now, again, hopefully you'll go back over this and you'll see that the roots are 7 over 5 and 1 over 5, and because it's minus, that'll be the reason why. This quadratic, once you get 7 over 5 or 1, once you get 7 over 5 and 1 over 5, that should translates to 5x minus 7y times 5x minus y.
20 minus 28 is
Okay, hang on. Let me scroll to
I
a
just
fresh.
happen to know.
Okay, so what's the next one?
9 alpha
9
Squared.
alpha squared
minus 6 alpha
minus 6 alpha
plus 1.
plus 1. Okay. 9x squared minus 6 alpha plus 1. This is where, again, we're going to use that same formula I used earlier because I know that I can probably get away with this. At least I think I can. So let's see. It's going to be oh, that's actually going to make things a little more complicated, but we'll give this a shot. So that's going to be 6. Okay, let me get rid of that minus sign. That's going to be 6 minus square root 36 minus 4, 9, 1 all over 18. Now that's going to be equals 6 plus or minus square root of 0, because 36 minus 36 is 0. Actually, I'll just put that in just to be on the safe side. 6 plus minus square root of 36 minus 36 over 18. So because that's a plus minus 0 over 18, you're going to get what's called a double root. This doesn't always happen. But here we go. So let's see, that'll be equals 6 over 18. So yeah, that'll be 6 over 18 equals 1 over 3. So that'll be 3a minus 1 times 3a minus 1. There you go. Now here's the bit that now depending on how many once we're through all of the factoring equations, and I've run this shortcut with all of them, it only failed with one of them thus far, so 2 out of 3 is working pretty well.
Give me just a minute, man. I got.
Okay, take your time.
Actually, you probably want to go ahead and finish this video, and then we'll do a second part.
Well, I kind of wanted you here for this particular section because while I finish this video, because I wanted to get to the reason why this ties into business.
Well, I don't have a choice at this point.
Okay, well, we'll do a second video then. All right, so this has been the end of Math and You, episode 10, part 1. We will continue with part 2 in a moment once Will gets back.